The momentum of buying has never diminished completely. Steady accumulation is happening during day and night. For those who understand this language, it is like the genie is out of the box. And when you look at that, it really means that. Why? Because the indicators are giving you clear signs that it is happening in the background. The same kind of approach is visible in the markets, regulators, government's approach towards this asset class. You really have to concentrate on that, and just to read through it, you don't even have to connect the dots. It will connect itself. And it is interesting to see connections which are clear but not understood by many. Why? Because you just have to look at that and see, wow, that really looks interesting. When all of this is happening, ask yourself, what is happening around you? You would be using cash, debit card, credit card, or any type of monetary tool in your daily life, but now world is changing. IMF declares Bretton Woods dead. That is the title of this article. Now, when you go through the article, there is a lot of interesting aspects which you would like to know, because it shows you that the world is going to change. And as it gets new polish from the financial guys of the world, how should you prepare yourself? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you saw value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to extend your support, please use the PayPal, Patreon, or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. As we see interesting news from the market, you have to think it on the both perspectives, say on the positive side and the negative side. When you look at $1 million Bitcoin, that's huge. But what you have to understand is how much in percentage should it go to reach there. One, and then look, Forbes is putting this one out. Okay, that's cool. It's kind of a valid thing. But what you should ask yourself is, when they put this one out for the common man to know, there can be a correction coming, because it's not only in that, because I see this one too. Calm before the storm, and analyst says $20,000 for Bitcoin in 3 months. So they are giving you a time frame stating that from the current level, the price is going to double. And that is kind of a temptation for a lot of traders or investors to put their money in, even using from their credit card for that 3 months. They'll think, okay, I'll wait some time, then I'll put my money in. Just 3 months, I can pay it back. What if that doesn't happen? What if the world goes to the other side? Because when you see giants coming in, putting millions into this, they are not putting their money to make money in a month or two. They would be looking at long-term aspect. And you have to understand, when they are putting money, is it on the buying side or is it on the selling side first to push the price down and then accumulate at the lower point? That has to be thought well. Now let's dive into all the information today. Weekly chart of XRP shows you this. If you analyze the MACD, you can see that from long time, say early 2019, we've been in a trend line, and that's still trending to the upside. And that's not actually a bad thing, because it shows you the underlying strength in the market. And with that, if you look at the RSI, from the mid 2019 towards mid 2020, you get to see one clear thing. The price, okay, is still in that pattern, I agree. And if you look here, early 2020, price just wicked into this particular support resistance zone and went back down, closed there. But if you look at the RSI, it shows kind of it tried to break above, but it was kind of a fake out. It came back into that trading range. Then it traded within that range for some time, till say late June, July, early July, and then it broke above that trend. Now that really is important to watch, guys, because this is on a weekly chart of XRP, and you get to see a break above this rounded bottom. If you make this like a cup and handle, it's up to you, but that's a different variety of the cup, the rounded bottom. So you can add a head and shoulder, cup and handle, or just call it a rounded bottom. Whatever you are watching here is that as you trade this initial area from here to here, what you see is sellers are in control. They are clearly pushing the price down for new lows. Whereas from this particular point, what you are watching here is that sellers are losing control, buyers are pushing the price to the upside as you see higher lows. So that's generally speaking, that's it in the simple terms. But in the price, you are still in that rounded bottom. You haven't broken this trend to the upside and it's not retesting completely. We are still in that trading range. RSI clearly shows a hidden bull there. At least for me, it looks like there is a bull hidden between the lines. Now, if we can understand this language, it kind of becomes a bit more easy for us. Why? Because as I told, the 0.31 to 0.34 range of support resistance, if we are breaking that and if we are doing the same here in the price and the RSI, that's going to be a massive pump. Why? Because that's the standard Wyckoff trend in which you see accumulation, break above that zone, reaccumulation, and then a pump to the upside. Now, if you compare Bitcoin or others with this, you'll understand that clearly that's what's happening. But when you zoom in and look at the shorter time frame, this is kind of what you get. You had a rising wedge here, which actually broke to the downside. And the same was confirmed in the RSI and MACD. But what really is interesting here, if you look at the RSI, before the MACD and the price broke below that, RSI already showed you that it's going to the downside. Now that's on a shorter time frame. If the same is applied here, that means, guys, we are waiting for a hell of a ride. If you are ready or not, that is coming. Now this is to generally show you the aspect in the entire crypto market. Why? Because whenever we see investments coming in, money flowing into crypto, they name it Bitcoin. And when you look at Bitcoin, you kind of see exact same thing as RSI of XRP. If you look here, the pattern which you can observe here is valid in Bitcoin's price. Wow. Why? Because the motion from investors into the buying and selling position clearly represent that the bullishness is still hidden for XRP, whereas for other assets you can see bulls active and running away. But those who can't see that here will actually weep at the end if they are going to jump this ship. Now let's move one by one and check at the news to understand what is happening. Now when we see that ETFs can clearly be coming out soon, you have to understand they've been stating this from 2018. But why can this come soon from now, 2020? Not talking about 2018 because they lagged all this duration. Big companies are stating that you don't work efficiently, we're going to leave this company. Or you just stay upside down there and do whatever you want, we're going to leave. But IMF declaring this means a huge stuff in the financial market. Why? Because we know back in 2008, the crisis came because of huge debt, right? Now they are talking that you can push the debt even around 125% of your GDP for advanced economies, 65% for emerging markets, 50% for low-income countries. Now, ask yourself, 2008 recession, the debt levels, if you compare in percentage, was it high in emerging markets or low-income countries or in the advanced economies? Or was it really due to the emerging markets or the advanced economies? As far as you understand, if you go back in time and look at it, you can understand that Iceland went bankrupt. And that's kind of, first time when you listen, oh, that can happen, huh? Then you see Lehman Brothers. Then you see another institution in UK. So all of this were advanced economies. And now they are stating, no, advanced economies, it's okay, you can raise this GDP level to the debt level to 125% of your GDP. Now, what does all of this actually means to us? Because when they are talking about this moment, they are trying to address low productivity, high inequality, and looming climate crises in a new financial system. Now, where does she actually state that we are going into a new financial system? Because when you read through this, she kind of states, there are goods with the old Bretton Woods system, blah, blah, blah. But she does not say what exactly is this new Bretton Woods. Meaning, she states there is a new system coming in, and that is going to push away the previous system which was existing there. But soon after this one, world will be kind of moving into a different direction, because now we are not looking at the debt level and saying, oh, it's too high for the debt, we can't actually afford it. They are taking out the wealth from the next generation and using it now. Now, if you read this one clearly, you can understand that they clearly state the Bretton Woods system is not fit for the purpose and we need a new one. So the previous system is changing. Now, it is a lot to read in this article, but if you read through that, they label, say, compare with Germany and US and states what Germany has done after the huge hyperinflation which happened previously. And now it's the turn for actually US. Question is, does the US government and regulators understand this when they outsource their manufacturing to different regions? Now that's all a different story of economy. But what does all of these has to do with crypto and digital assets? That's a huge question, right? Because when they are talking about the centralization and the effect of centralization in the inequality, that is meaning that they can move towards a decentralized future of finance. Now, when they go through that and explain about the different complexities of changing into the new monetary system, they look at the interest rate of the debt too, because they have to service this one. If they extend their debt level, still they have to service that one. And one side, government is pushing in more money into the economy. And the other side, these same huge investment guys, bankers and all, are putting their money into Bitcoin. And a former Goldman Sachs guy actually states, Bitcoin is about to surge to 1 million. Now, if you are comparing that with XRP price, say Bitcoin is going to 1 million. Okay, accept it. So what about XRP? Will it only run like in terms of, multiples? Say when BTC reached 20,000, XRP was 3.8, the high. So if you compare that, like from there, 20,000, BTC should actually go like towards 1 million and XRP should go way. Right? It's not only in multiples you should actually look at, it should be in the percentage of run in each cycle. Say in last market cycle, how much did BTC move from the bottom till the top? It's around 120,000, 110,000 percentage. And XRP did 145,000 percentage. So it always does better than BTC. So if this is the case, then we are up to huge price fluctuation in XRP as well. Because when the market moves, it kind of generally pushes the wave way much than we expect. But this particular case, clearly for investors, they understand that fundamentals are strong for this. And I recently saw a video in which, XRP guy was talking about XRP in a different channel, which really talks about the financial system around the globe. But he was highlighting that XRP is going to be the world reserve currency. Now that's kind of, we understand this, it's going to happen, it's going to be the global bridge asset between different values. And when we talk about that too, you have to actually think what really is happening in between. World Bank's actually connection with all of these institutions, which is directly connected to Ripple. Now, you know that Ripple itself stated that if you can experience a instantaneous money transfer service, but you can't see Ripple there, it definitely means we are in the background. You can't, or the customers can't see us. We are there to provide the infrastructure for the banks and financial institutions. And look at this, it clearly shows that is true to each characters of that sentence, because they stated that clearly. And shout out to Val Jester for putting all of these out in his tweet. It really looks like, if you look at this, yes, back in the day they stated that their target is to make XRP the world's reserve currency. And when you look at the ISO standard and Interledger protocol family, it really is reaching to all different aspects. Say, on one end, if you look, you can see the connection with consensus, and at the top, SAP, bottom, Accenture, IBM, Stellar, R3. There's a lot included, right? And within that same thing, what you have to understand is when we talk about different assets, you can see XRP, you can see IOTA, you can see XLM, you can see XDC, and USDC. So what it really means is, like, say, USDC, Algo, XTC, and all of these different things are included in this financial system. We previously saw interoperability layers can be used by XRP and IOTA in a World Bank statement, right? So that means they understand the technology and they are connecting this in a new framework for which the underlying infrastructure would be Interledger protocol. You have to think it in that way. Say there will be an international system, there will be domestic system as well. Now that is kind of common sense, right? So now what you have to understand is what will be the international system looking like, not the domestic one. Now that's for XRP, those guys who are interested in understanding about XRP. Because if they are putting out ILP as a standard of the world, that would be the underlying infrastructure or the new financial system. But the domestic one can be different. Say a central bank is going on Stellar network, they can issue about that, say the CBDC or even any other different kind of framework. But not every one of them actually has the ability to give that interoperability, right? If you look at ISO standard, interoperability and all, you can just see XRP and Quant in different ways. But still, the connection with central banks, IMF and all kind of give XRP and Interledger protocol a bit more edge than others. Now this week, it's actually going to be much interesting than the last one with that swell. Because you're going to get words coming out from Brad Garlinghouse, Brian Brooks, and Chairman Heath. So that's from CFTC. Now, all of these institutions will be talking based on, what is happening around the globe. They can't deny the fact that financial system is changing and they have to walk with it, right? So these words will be crucial. You have to understand that. And whenever you are looking at the entire sector, you should be looking at the regulators, what they are stating. Are they going to delay this or are they trying to accelerate this movement? This shows from stablecoins to decentralized exchanges, regulators are struggling to regulate a moving target, said SEC commissioner. Now that is clear because some of the crypto assets or digital assets were kind of looking like a security at the initial stage, but it kind of evolves through its journey. As it's being adopted, as it's being pushed, it's kind of, things do change, right? It is an evolving kind of thing like a human being. Now, central bank digital currency first movers have an advantage in open economies. So one thing is CBDC is coming, and second thing is everyone would like to be the first movers, and third thing, we are into an open economy. Wow. For that kind of an economy, you should not be looking at a reserve currency which is centralized. Say United States dollar. Now I'm not saying dollar is going away. What I'm saying is, say the transaction between dollar to euro will happen in a neutral bridge asset. And for me, the chances are that XRP would be used for that. That's the international cross-border payments between two fiat currencies. So I don't know, the days will be numbered when United States dollar to Chinese yuan would be used in their own, world standard reserve currency of dollar. Instead, it would be going through a neutral asset. And the day is sure that you can see Belt and Road Initiative in the one side from China, and US and its allies pushing to the other side. Even India is not joining the Belt and Road Initiative as it has ties with US. So open economy, when we are talking about that central bank digital currency, guys, do look out for what is ahead, because it's not that simple to understand. The world is changing. It's not only in the financial side. Now, I won't describe this and clearly define what my standpoint is for this one, but I really wanted to show you guys this. If the money is flowing to this direction, just think, will it be used more, or will it be kind of, just put out? Think about that and you can make your own decision there. But for me, that really looks bad. Anyway, now Ripple hits new success, XRP M1, the Bank of America hype. Now guys, don't just fall into that hype, because this news was out for XRP community previously. We talked about that, and just don't jump into that big bang theory of Bank of America. Now, trading world braces for a big bang, and this one is not actually for a simple pump up. Instead, they are looking at a huge depth level, and the price may actually depreciate. Why? Because of the liquidity issue. When the infrastructure changes, they can manage their liquidity easily, because they can source liquidity whenever they want. They don't need to put dormant capitals. Now, if you understand this, all of these fundamental stuff happening, I'll put all of these links in the description. So if you want to read through that, it would be easy for you to do so. So for me, the price is actually bullish, not in the short term. Do understand, not in the short term. For me, I'm not a short-term trader for XRP precisely. I do trade other assets, say a month to 2, 3, or 6. Say short to medium term for me is kind of that in trading, but for XRP, I'm not a short-term trader. I do put out charts, trading setups and all in my Patreon group for different assets, and majority of them do work. Now, not every time I put the same here in the YouTube channel to show that it's working cool, but at least those who are in the Patreon do understand that that really is happening. So guys, I hope you received value for your time. And if you did, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to extend your support, you can check the description. You can see PayPal, Patreon and XRP wallet address given there. If you would like to support, you can use that. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.